Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May the divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace.
This song is written by Swami Vivekananda. There is a flood of the name of Mother Sharada and Sri Ramakrishna. You sail your lifeboat in the tide and you play and you call upon Ma, Ma, Ma to take you on her lap. Sharudaram Krishna namer ban dekeche re bhai. Sharudaram Krishna namer ban dekeche re bhai. Vishwabhuban bheshe gelo aha boli hare jai. Vishwabhuban bheshe gelo aha boli hare jai. Sharudaram Krishna namer ban dekeche re bhai. Sharudaram Krishna namer ban dekeche re bhai. যুগের হাওয়া লাগলো পালে জীবন তোরি দেনা খুলে। যুগের হাওয়া লাগলো পালে জীবন তোরি দেনা খুলে। যুগের হাওয়া লাগলো পালে জীবন তোরি দেনা খুলে। শারদারাম কৃষ্ণ বলে হেসে খেলে চলে যায়। শারদারাম কৃষ্ণ বলে হেসে খেলে চলে যায়। মা 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 বলে মায়ের কোলে চলে যায়। মা 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 বলে মায়ের কোলে চলে যায়। জয় শ্রীরাম কৃষ্ণ বলে হেসে খেলে চলে যায়। জয় শ্রীরাম কৃষ্ণ বলে হেসে খেলে চলে যায়। জয় শ্রী শারদা বলে মায়ের কোলে চলে যায়। জয় শ্রী শারদা বলে মায়ের কোলে চলে যায়। মা 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 বলে মায়ের কোলে চলে যায়। মা 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 বলে মায়ের কোলে চলে যায়। শারদারাম কৃষ্ণ নামে বান ডেকেছে রে ভাই। শারদারাম কৃষ্ণ নামের বান ডেকেছে রে ভাই। বিশ্বভুবন ভেসে গেল আহা বলি হারে যায়, বিশ্বভুবন ভেসে গেল, আহা বলি হারে যায়, শারদারাম কৃষ্ণ নামের বান ডেকেছে রে ভাই, শারদারাম কৃষ্ণ নামের বান ডেকেছে রে ভাই।
I'm reading from the book Sri Sharoda Devi and Her Divine Play by Swami Chitanananda ji. The title is Happiness and Misery. On 25th September 1910, Swami Arupananda asked Holy Mother an important question. Mother, if there exists a being called God, why is there so much suffering and misery in the world? Does he not see it? Has he not the power to remove it? Mother replied with this story. Creation itself is full of misery and happiness. Could anyone appreciate happiness if misery did not exist? Besides, how is it possible for all persons to be happy? Sita once said to Rama, "Why don't you remove the suffering and unhappiness of all your subjects? Please make all the inhabitants of your kingdom happy. By your mere will, you can easily do it." Rama said, "Is it possible for all persons to be happy at the same time?" "Why not?" asked Sita. "Please supply from the royal treasury the means of satisfying everyone's wants." "All right," said Rama. "Your will shall be carried out." Rama sent for Lakshmana and said to him, "Go and notify everyone in my empire that everyone may take whatever he wants from the royal treasury." At this, the subjects of Rama came to the palace and told him what they wanted. The royal treasury began to flow without stint. When everyone was spending his days joyously through the Maya of Rama, the roof of the building in which Rama and Sita lived started to leak. Workmen were sent for to repair the building. But where were workmen to be had? There were not a single laborer in the kingdom. With the absence of masons, carpenters, and artisans, all buildings fell into disrepair and work was at a standstill. Rama's subjects informed the king of their difficulties. Finding no other help, Sita said to Rama, "It is no longer possible to bear the discomfort of the leaking roof. Please arrange things as they were before. Then everyone will be able to procure workmen. Now I realize that it is not possible for all persons to be happy at the same time." "Let it be so," said Rama. Instantaneously all things were as before, and workmen could once more be engaged. Sita said to Rama, "Lord, this creation is your wonderful sport. No one will suffer at all times. No one will spend all his days on this earth in suffering. Every action brings its own result, and one gets one's opportunities accordingly. Misery and happiness are part of human life." And here, before 5 days, before Holy Mother passed away, a woman called Annapurna's mother came to see her. She stood at the door as no one was allowed to enter the sick room. When Holy Mother turned on her side, she saw Annapurna's mother and motioned to her to come near. She came in, bowed down to the mother, and said with tearful eyes, "Mother, what will happen to us?" In a feeble voice, the compassionate mother said to her, "Why should you be afraid? You have seen the Master. What should frighten you? Then she added very slowly and softly, let me tell you something. My child, if you want peace, then do not look into anybody's faults. Look into your own faults. Learn to make the world your own. No one is a stranger, my child. The world is your own. This was Holy Mother's last message to suffering humanity. Here in Serenity.
Now a short period of meditation. Good morning to you in the first Sunday service after the summer vacation. Welcome to you all to the special Sunday service because of the presence of distinguished monk from Berkeley, Swami Prasannatmananda ji. He was one of the speakers in the seminar that was conducted yesterday, and his speech and answers were very highly appreciated by everyone. At this moment, I would request Swami Prasannatmananda to come in the stage and take the chair, please. Swami Prasannatmananda is a fully ordained monk of the Ramakrishna Order, India, and currently serves as Swami in charge of the Vedanta Society of Berkeley, California, USA. He received his sannyasa vows in 1995 from the 12th president of the order, most revered Swami Bhuteshananda Ji Maharaj. After serving in various centers of the order in India, he came to the United States in 2011 as Assistant Swami at the Berkeley Center and assumed its leadership in 2014. Swami has spoken extensively on Vedanta in various universities and in the media. He has also authored numerous articles on Vedanta. Swamiji will today speak on the topic that he has chosen, very interesting topic. He himself will announce the topic that he's going to speak today, Swami Prasannatmananda Ji Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj, and Pranam. I am grateful that revered Maharaj kindly invited me to say something in this beautiful hall in front of the Holy Trio. This morning, I am going to speak on a very important subject, especially in spiritual life, understanding happiness. It is needless to say that every one of us, we want joy and happiness. If I ask you, what is the object of our life? What is the goal of our life? I am sure that all of you will reply that joy, happiness, and peace, these are the things that we want. Well, if we think, how can we be happy? Then we can find that there are different people, they become happy in different things. As for example, those who are present in this hall, they are very happy to listen to some kind of spiritual discourses. Few people are there who will be happy. Yesterday, some great mathematicians, they came here in the seminar, and if they start to explain some intrinsic theory of mathematics here right now, some will not be happy, but there are people, they will become happy to see the explanation of very intrinsic theory of mathematics. Few people are there, those who will be happy if some Bollywood movie is played here right now. So there are people, their happiness varies from time to time, from things to things. Why is it? Let me take another set of example. Few people are there, they like to dress well, they like fun, they like eating, merrymaking. There are few people, they do not like dress, they are very careless about their dress, their food, what they are eating. They love to do some work. They are always busy to do some work. They jump into others' problem, and they always try to serve people, and they try to involve themselves always in some kind of work. There are other people, they are very happy to sing songs, paint pictures, or compose poem. There are another group of people, they are very happy in their laboratory. They are very happy if they want to go and research on something. They are very happy on that particular. They are very careless about their food, their dress, whether somebody is singing, whether somebody is composing some poems. They are not very serious about all those things, but they are very happy when they enter their laboratory. Why is this differences? Let us explain. In Taittiriya Upanishad, we find that there are different levels of happiness. That is called Ananda Balli. Ananda means happiness, joy. In Ananda Balli, it is given that there are different levels of happiness of human being. And what are those happiness? Human beings are categorized in 5 types according to their level of consciousness. In Vedanta, everything based on consciousness. The consciousness is the ground of being on which the huge edifice of our personality, huge edifice of our individuality has been built. So, there are 5 levels of consciousness. The first is the basic level. In Sanskrit, it is called seeds, kosha. There are 5 seeds or levels or koshas. The basic level, the lower level, is called in Sanskrit Annamaya kosha, the basic level. Anna means food, the basic level. So some people are there, their consciousness is connected with that basic level. That is the Annamaya kosha. And the characteristics of those people are reflected accordingly. So those who are connected with this basic level, you can find they are fun-making, they are the people always want to be happy, and they are the people who eat, drink, and merrymaking people. The second category, the second level, it is called in Sanskrit the pranamaya, the energy level. These people are kind of workaholic. These people, they love while working. They jump into others' problem. They try to help people always. So they don't care about the God and goddesses. They said that our God and goddesses are in service. So we do work. Work is God, according to them. So these people are workaholic. They don't care or bother about their dresses. They don't bother whether they eat or not, what they are eating. They are very focused on their work. The third group people in Sanskrit, it is called monomaya, the aesthetic people. These people are a little bit poetic, art and culture. They can compose different poems, play music. So these are the aesthetic people. They love, they can listen to some music concert, they can sing throughout the night, whole night, tirelessly. But if you give them any work to do whole night, they will become tired. It is not possible for them to do some work whole night. But they can attend some music concert whole night, they will not be tired. They can sing whole night. They can compose poem whole night. They will not be tired. They will be happy in that because their conscious level is connected with the mind or aesthetic level. Their consciousness is connected to that. Then the higher level is the intellectual level. In Sanskrit it is called a Vijnanamaya Kosha, the seeds of intellectual seeds. So their consciousness is connected with that. And these people, obviously you can understand right now, these people are intellectual people, they love research. They study and they are very careless about their dresses, food or music or any kind of thing or work. They do not care about the work. They are happy to engage themselves into research work. They are intellectual people and their consciousness is connected with the intellectual plane in Sanskrit, which is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. Now, from this explanation of Taittiriya Upanishad, what can we conclude? Because the result of these 5 different levels are happiness. They do this kind of work, they are engaged in this kind of work. It is because they are happy. So, from this we can draw a law, the first law of happiness. It is all beings exists different level of consciousness. And for every level of consciousness, there is definite, fixed degree of happiness. According to the level, they have the happiness. So there is fixed level of happiness, fixed degree of happiness. This is the law or the conclusion we can draw from here. Now, the second point is that what is the object of happiness? Is object of happiness is very important? Obviously, if some concert, music concert is going on there, then some people will come and they will be happy. If some worship will happen here, some people will be happy. So according to this, the object of happiness is very important, because object of happiness influences us and we will be happy or sad. If the object of happiness is removed from us, then we will be sad. But it is not. The great theory, the second theory, second law of happiness is the degree of happiness associated with each level is independent of the external event. Our happiness is not depend upon the external object. It sounds very weird, but it is the law. It is the truth that our happiness, we think a small child, if he gets some chocolate, immediately he will be happy. If you can take it from him, he will be sad. Oh, mom is not allowing me to take chocolate. So it looks like the object of our happiness is very important. But it is not. Let me explain why our happiness doesn't depend on the object of happiness. If we are very hungry, then we want food, and we will be very happy if we take food. Whatever food we get at that time, maybe the Indian food, or the continental food, or the Chinese or Thai, whatever may be the food item. Any kind of food, if we eat at that time, the degree of happiness is same. It doesn't depend upon the nature of food item. Take another example. Do you think a doctor who has just completed an operation, successful operation, a farmer, he produces a beautiful crop, or a teacher, his student get the success, grand success in the examination. The degree of happiness of a doctor, the degree of happiness of a farmer, or degree of happiness of a teacher, can you distinguish? Can you say that no, doctor's happiness is higher than the farmer's happiness? Can you say the teacher's happiness is lesser than the farmer's happiness? We cannot. So it proves that our happiness is not dependent on the object of our happiness. The first rule, our happiness depends upon the level of our consciousness, in which consciousness we are connected. There are 5 levels. Secondly, our happiness, the degree of happiness, doesn't depend on the object of happiness. We think, but we are not. Can we distinguish if a mother gives birth a son, or a person got a lottery? Can you distinguish the happiness? Which happiness is greater degree? We cannot. So happiness doesn't depend upon the object of happiness. It depends upon which level we are connected. The third important theory, the effort is needed. That means, you see, we have to understand another point here. The happiness doesn't depend on the object. Again, happiness is fixed. We cannot say the happiness is greater, his happiness is greater than him. happiness is fixed. Can you distinguish between happiness? I am little happy, I am greatly happy. Happiness means happiness. We cannot distinguish happiness. It is smaller kind of happiness, it is bigger kind of happiness. Can we do that? When we are happy, we are happy. When we are sad, we are sad. There is no quantity of happiness. Happiness is fixed. When you will be happy, you cannot increase your happiness, you cannot decrease your happiness. Happiness is fixed. And the controlling of happiness is not also in our hand. The conscious level it is connected, and we will manifest our happiness according to that level, and the happiness at that level is fixed for everybody. It is fixed for everybody. I cannot say my happiness is greater than your happiness. Can we say that? If you give a chocolate to a child, his happiness is exactly same to my happiness. So happiness is fixed. Happiness is fixed. Happiness doesn't depend upon the external object. Happiness depends according to the level our consciousness is connected. Three important things. So see, happiness is coming out from within. There is no connection of happiness in the external world. So, the whole philosophy of happiness is from within. Then what we have to do when we will be sad? The Vedantins, they say that if there is a covering, then we will be sad. Because our happiness and sadness is not depending on the external object. External object, what external object is? What is the purpose of external object? Because I can see it, that if I give a chocolate to a child, he will become extremely happy. I can see it. How can I deny that the external object has no impact on a person? Yes, that has an impact. And what kind of impact? The impact is this, that will just act as a stimulus. Because of that, the coverings opens and the happiness flows out. So the external object is acting to remove the coverings of ourself, and the happiness is flowing from there. So what is the third law? Effort is needed to remove the obstacles. If the obstacles, some people they are always happy. If there is any problem, they are always happy. What does it mean? Because their obstacle has been removed. See, I saw some Swamis, they are always happy. I never saw their long face in my life. I can take few names. We saw revered Swami Lokeshwaranandaji, always smiling face. I don't know whether you have seen Swami Sridharanandaji or what. Those who have seen Sridharanandaji, you saw him. Always kind of pleasant appearance. Cordial. So how it happens? Because the obstacles has been removed. So the effort has to be made to remove the obstacles. So our happiness will flow. But effort actually is not required. It is the nature of human being. We have in our being a kind of urge to go higher and higher level of happiness. It is in technical language, it is called the teleological urge. It is already there. We have something urge. Take the example. A beautiful house is bought, and I have tremendous attachment with that house. But after 2-3 years, I got another house, and I bought that. Do you think my attachment with the first house will still remain? No. Immediately we shall forego that and take the new one, good one. So human mind has a embedded urge to go to seek higher and higher. We cannot and we do not stay at the same level. Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he said that we cannot stop work for a single moment. We have to work. Not only work, we have that urge to go higher and higher, to get better and better. So that is our teleological urge. We have to do that. So that is why Swami Vivekananda said, knowingly or unknowingly, we all are traveling towards the highest goal, whether we know it or not. So why should we participate in our spiritual journey then? If we are traveling to the same goal, then it is not required to participate in the spiritual journey. No, this spiritual journey will help us to make our journey a little bit faster. We can proceed a little bit faster. by performing our spiritual practice. So this is urge is there to go higher and higher. In order to get the higher degree of happiness, it is obvious that one has to bring the change in the corresponding level of consciousness, because our happiness depends upon the level of our consciousness. How can we do that? In Bhagavad Gita, you can find in 16th chapter, 17th chapter, the Sattva, Tama and Rajas has been described. And from there we can easily understand that in which level we exist. What is predominant in us, Rajas or Sattva, according to our food habit, according to our behavior, according to our outlook, we can easily understand. That is a kind of litmus test. We can understand that in which level we exist. Similarly, here we can easily understand by little analyzing our behavior, our outlook, and the trait of our mind. That what kind of thing I want. Easily we can analyze. And accordingly, that urge already we have, but we have to take little effort to elevate our level of consciousness. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it is said the basic level, then the energy level, then the aesthetic level, and then the intellectual level, and higher than that, the blissful level, Anandamaya Kosha, the blissful level. So we have to elevate. So this is the evolution of human being. We know, we experience the evolution of our physical body from ape, super ape to the Homo sapiens. And Darwin analyzed that, described that. Our brain weight has been changed, cells of different gray cells of our brain changed, our physical body changes. But what about the changes of our consciousness? So that evolution is our physical evolution. But the evolution of consciousness is required when we can evolve our conscious level according to the Taittiriya Upanishad. And that is the evolution of our consciousness. And what is that evolution? The animal, they are also happy. In Jnana Yoga, Swami Vivekananda said that human being never eat with the same gusto as a dog eats. So animal, they are guided and prompted by the instinct. They do not have any check and balance against the instinct. But here is the difference between the human being and animal. One of the important difference, Shankaracharya explained the difference between the human being and animal. But here is another difference between the human being and animal. So animal are instinctual being. Human beings are also instinctual, but we have to evolve our consciousness from the instinctual level to the rational level. So the first evolution is the rational human being. Then the spiritual human being. The spirituality is the fulfillment. When the king of Khetri asked Swami Vivekananda, you know, Maharaja Khetri was the disciple of Swami Vivekananda, and he asked Swami Vivekananda, what is the definition of life? Without taking a single second, Swamiji replied, the unfoldment and the fulfillment of our being under the circumstances when it is trying to press down always. I repeat, unfoldment and fulfillment of our being when the circumstances are trying to press it down. So it is unfoldment and fulfillment of our being, and the nature or circumstances is always trying to press it down. This battle, according to Swami Vivekananda, see, according to Christianity, what is life? According to Christianity, the life is sinful. The Satan is chasing always to life. Because of our sin, we are born sinner, and we are always afraid of that, scary. What is the life according to Buddhism? Unreal self in the midst of a real world, and life is suffering. Unreal self, we are unreal. But this world is real, according to Buddhism. In the midst of unreal world, in the midst of real world, the unreal self is there. What is the traditional Hinduism? The real self is suffering inside the structure of Prakriti. The real self is suffering in bondage of Prakriti, like a prisoner. But what is the concept of life according to Swami Vivekananda? The concept of life according to Swami Vivekananda is a battlefield. Always our being is trying to unfold and becoming fulfilled, and the nature is trying to press it down. This friction, this is the battle. This is life. We want to be healthy throughout our life, but nature is pressing down. We want to live thousands and thousands years, but nature is pressing down. We want to be happy, but nature is not allowing that, pressing down. This fight, we are trying to do it, but nature is not allowing us. This fight is the sign of life. So, we have to express ourselves. This is the expression of a whole theory of Swami Vivekananda, you see, is the manifestation of being. And on the basis of this particular fundamental principle, Swami Vivekananda developed work theory, Swami Vivekananda developed moral theory, Swami Vivekananda developed a new existential philosophy of life, like kind of psychological theory. Everything from this one, what we work, always our focus will be manifestation of our being, unfoldment and fulfillment. That is the goal. And through which, what we can do, we can elevate ourselves, elevate our consciousness from the lower level of consciousness to the higher level. Spirituality, meditation, prayer, worship. What it will give us? It will help us to elevate our level of consciousness. It helps us for our evolution of consciousness. This is also a kind of evolution. So we try to go and seek happiness in the outside world. But within very short time we will find the world is not ready to help us. We are helpless. So, from two sources we can get this help. One, God, who is within us. And another, ourself, which is effulgent, self-evident, eternal, immortal, ever present, the self. This is the source of our courage to fight in the battle of life. And what is the significance of this battle? We are unfolding and fulfilling our being. The more we are doing a guitar, if you hit the strings of a guitar, you can find a melodious, beautiful sound. But you have to hit it. A kite flies against the wind. So that unfoldment and fulfillment evolve us to the higher and higher level of consciousness. And accordingly, Indian scripture, they say there are different kind of sukham. Sukham means happiness. There are different levels of happiness. Number one, in Sanskrit it is called Vishaya Sukham. We become happy by our wealth, property. This is a kind of worldly happiness. Then, what is the next level? Samasukham. What is Samasukham? If we control ourselves, you can find a kind of joy. If you restrain ourselves, you can find a joy. Just try. Don't speak with anybody one day, and next day you will find a kind of joy and no mobile phone, no talking with anybody, nothing, no connection. Find it. If you perform a little meditation one day for a long time, you can find a kind of freshness in your mind and body. That is a kind of, it is called samasukham. If we restrain our energy, we are losing our energy every moment of time in different ways. To control that energy is an art, a skill. And you can transform that energy to different ways, different channels. So this is called Shamasukha, the next stage. If we restrain, if we control ourselves, we will become disciplined and channelize our energy in a particular direction. The third, it is called Bhajanananda. If we perform spiritual practice, we get a kind of joy. So see, the Vishayananda is trying to convert the worldly pleasure, is slowly transforming into spiritual joy. This is transformation. First, then will come Atma Sukham. You feel always joy, Atma Sukham. And the last one is Brahmananda Sukham. So these are different levels of happiness. We think that only worldly happiness is the best happiness because we are unaware of the huge, infinite glory of happiness. So these are the evolution. So first awakening must take place. The lower awakening, which is called the ego awakening. Then second, the matured ego, when you can discriminate very carefully everything. Which one is good, which one is bad, which one is right, which one is wrong, which one is real, which one is unreal. You can discriminate all these things. And lastly, transformation. Transformation will take place. The litmus test of spiritual progress is transformation. You can meditate for hours together, but if there is no transformation, nobody will consider any progress. Spirituality means the transformation of consciousness. And then ultimately, transcendence. We call transcendental meditation, transcendence. Transcendence means beyond our senses. Everything we can consider through our senses. Our knowledge is limited by our senses. The transcendence means beyond senses. And that is the final joy, Brahmananda. So these are the level of joy. And this is the secret of happiness, the understanding happiness. I think you have understood it. And again, I offer my pranam to Maharaj for inviting him in this beautiful temple. Thank you.